Right now, on to the point. Combating retail theft, lawmakers advancing several bills to the governor's desk. The solutions they're proposing. A hospice chaplain accused of sexual assault facing a judge today. The new details we're learning from court. Plus, Sacramento State wants to raise their fees. How students are responding and where the money would go. And later, the new proposal aimed at saving you time and money when dealing with customer service.
Good evening. As always, thank you so much for starting your week with us. On To The Point, I'm Alex Bell. And new tonight, we can confirm that Senator Marie Alvarado Gil has been removed from all committees that she was on following her switch from the Democratic to Republican Party. Now, Alvarado Gil made the announcement last week saying that she and the Democratic Party no longer shared the same values. She represents California's 4th District, which has nearly 1 million people across the northeastern part of the Central Valley and the foothills. Alvarado Gil was the chairwoman of the Senate's Human Services Committee and sat on 5 other committees. And she responded in a statement saying, in part, quote, "I can confirm that I have been removed from all of the committees I was a member of following my decision to switch parties. This is yet another act of retribution by the Democratic caucus, and there's still plenty of work for me to do, and I continue to fight for the people of California, regardless if I'm on a committee or not." And that senator is up for re-election in 2026. And right now, a package of bills aimed at fighting retail theft in California is headed to the governor's desk. And this package is a mix of 14 bipartisan bills that would address the growing problem surrounding retail theft. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen spent the day listening to the Assembly and Senate discuss these bills and joins us now with how retailers and lawmakers are responding to all of this. Jeannie, we know it's a hot topic.
Alex, the California Retail Theft Reduction Act passed in the Assembly today and is on its way to the governor. Lawmakers on both sides and retailers telling me today they believe it's a start to a long-term solution.
It has been a long and windy road to get here.
As the state continues to deal with retail theft, what happened on Monday's Assembly floor session has been something Rachel Michelin has been waiting for.
A really impactful set of legislation that we really think will have a huge impact on curbing retail theft across the state of California.
Lawmakers passed the California Retail Theft Reduction Act, which included a package of bipartisan bills. If signed by the governor, these bills would address serial thieves, cargo theft, and allow law enforcement and DAs to prosecute.
I mean, this is what we as Republicans wanted all year, was to pass these bipartisan retail theft bills.
Assemblymember James Gallagher says getting here hasn't come without political maneuvering and disagreements between parties. But with this bipartisan package to address retail theft, Gallagher voted in favor during Monday's session.
What I've seen in the legislature is that many of us came together on both sides of the aisle to pass what is, really good policy and is going to help keep our communities safe.
And while this is the first step to solving the growing issue, retailers still have a lot of work to do.
But I hope that my friends in law enforcement and in the District Attorneys Association will step up as well and do their part in making sure that they are going to respond in a timely manner and that they're going to prosecute.
Now, this retail theft package also has bills in the Senate. During today's regular session in the Senate, lawmakers passed those bills that would address sales on online marketplaces, organized retail theft, and thefts from a vehicle. If the governor signs these bills, it will take effect on January 1st. Alex.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much. And there is also a measure on the November ballot that will address retail theft and drug trafficking. Proposition 36 will increase punishment for both crimes, challenging Prop 47 that was passed by voters back in 2014. It is being backed by law enforcement, Republicans, and even some Democrats. And just hours ago, a chaplain accused of sexually assaulting an elderly woman appeared in court for the first time. Arthur Apgar of Placer County is facing numerous charges. ABC 10's Luke Cleary was in the courtroom today as Apgar appeared before a Sacramento County judge, and he joins us with the latest details tonight.
Sadly, we have just learned that the 76-year-old victim in this case died over the weekend. The family says that their loved one was sexually assaulted by her hospice chaplain while she was on her deathbed. The defendant in this case, they pleaded with the judge not to grant him bail, and the judge sided with them. And so now the defendant in this case remains remanded here at the Sacramento County Jail. Here's that defendant as he made his way into the courthouse just hours ago. Arthur Apgar, a hospice chaplain charged with 4 counts of sexual battery against a person who is seriously disabled or medically incapacitated. The family says that they had a bad feeling about him and decided to place a camera in her room, and that's how they apparently captured the damning evidence in this case. I talked to the victim's daughter-in-law just hours ago. You saw this video for yourself?
Yes, me and my husband watched the whole thing happen. So it's something that we hope nobody ever has to go through with their loved ones, but we had this camera there on purpose so that we could have peace of mind. And this is, you know, everybody, if you have anybody in anyone's care, please get a camera on them so that this can't happen to them.
And your mother-in-law, she passed away yesterday?
Yes, she passed yesterday, and we're still trying to deal with all this, and we have to be in court today, and it's terrible. Sorry. Oh my God, it's like overshadowing her death. It's terrible. Nobody's death should be like this, you know. She's a woman of God.
As he approached the courthouse, Apgar did not say a word to us. He did not utter a word in the hearing as well and did not enter a plea. However, the defense attorney for Apgar said that he had worked as a hospice chaplain for over 4 years, that he did not have a criminal history, and asked that he be released on bail. But the 3 family members who spoke out on the victim's behalf made an emotional plea that he be remanded here at the Sacramento County Jail. The son saying, quote, "He stole the last moments of my mother's life." Reporting in Sacramento, Luke Clary, ABC 10.
Tonight, Roseville police are searching for a man accused of breaking into a bank. Officers say it happened around 6 this morning at the U.S. Bank on Estates Drive. They say the man got in using a crowbar, and it's unclear exactly what was stolen. Anyone with information, though, should call the Roseville Police Department. And new tonight, a man has been arrested in connection to a fire at St. Rose Church. It's located off Franklin Boulevard in Sacramento. And the Sacramento Fire Department says 43-year-old Jaime Tapia tried to set multiple areas on fire Friday night. They say most of the damage was done to a back pew, and investigators say evidence found at the scene points to the arson being a hate crime. And turning to the wildfire fight. Right now, crews are battling a fire along the California-Nevada line. The Gold Ranch fire sparked yesterday after a car caught fire on the side of I-80. It has now burned about 500 acres, and fire crews say one home has been destroyed. I-80 was also temporarily closed, but has since reopened. In El Dorado County, crews continue to battle the Crozier fire. Some people have started to return home after evacuating last week. CAL FIRE says the fire is now at 36% containment with more than 1,900 acres burned. And going back to school, it could be getting a little bit more expensive for Sacramento State University students. A proposed increase for some mandatory student fees is in the works. ABC 10's Devin Truby attended one of the forums today and explains where the money could go.
To make us one of those destination campuses.
Sacramento State University students getting the opportunity Monday to ask questions and give feedback on potential fee increases. The university said this will make Sac State more competitive. Majority of fees haven't been raised since the 1980s. Plus, they're dealing with budget cuts from the state.
It is kind of laughable, in my opinion.
Right now, students pay $967 per semester in mandatory campus fees. This proposal would increase fees for student health, to improve counseling, to reduce wait times, and adding 3 to 5 counselors, adding hours on weekends and holidays, and instructional-related activities like cultural academic resource centers for more staffing and expanded hours. Also, recreational sports, adding more staff, new facilities, and reduce student-athletes' out-of-pocket expenses. Many students taking issue paying for sports they don't participate in.
You do pay for services that you don't necessarily always receive or want to be part of. I think if we're looking at what we're trying to do here on this campus is to increase the culture, increase the support across campus, increase the spirit.
In comparison, amongst 23 other CSU campuses, Sac State's fees fall square in the middle. 11 campuses pay more, 11 pay less.
Necessarily having more money doesn't create better education at all times. I feel like it's the educators.
These proposed fee increases are coming as the California State University system is increasing tuition this year by 6% and for the collective 5 years. Students are paying $342 more this semester. In the 5 years, tuition will go from $6,000 to $7,600.
The chancellor getting like over $1 million every year with their salaries. So I think there are other places to get these fees.
After all the forums, the Student Fee Advisory Committee will give their recommendations to the president. Any fee changes would take effect in fall of 2025. Devin Truby, ABC 10.
All right, stay with us because we'll have more on how tensions are rising in the Middle East and how the U.S. is now stepping in and increasing security.
It's been a hot start to August. Now we're starting to see some of that cooler weather settling in, tracking how long it sticks around.
Plus, the new report highlighting why dozens of pregnant women are being turned away from emergency rooms.
Doctors are terrified to provide essential health care to their patients.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods with our forecast, and we're not looking too bad, if I say so myself.
I know, those clouds out there, it just, even if you look at it, you just go, oh, wow, it just looks so refreshing. And then you step outside and it feels refreshing, too. Cloud cover streaming in for today. A few of those showers trying to make their way through the region. Most of that is going to be the best opportunity for that will be in the Sierra. Locally, though, a little bit of cloud cover, nice breeze coming in. That's been keeping us cooler. Unfortunately, that wind creating a higher fire danger for the Sierra. Our red flag warning in effect until 8 o'clock tonight with the potential for rapid fire spread due to the gusty winds and lower humidity. Now, those winds also, like I said, delivering the cooler air. Highs in the upper 80s today for downtown Sacramento. Mid 80s for Sacramento executives. Stockton at 93, Modesto 95, but that is cooler than our 100-degree temperature yesterday. Tonight, we'll see those clouds starting to thin out, lows falling into the upper 50s with highs tomorrow right around 90. We've got a couple of low pressure systems that we're going to be tracking periodically, but also that high pressure ridge isn't that far away. It's still within reach here. And so we're going to be hovering right about average to slightly below average for the next several days. Highs in the 70s tomorrow for the Sierra with 80s and 90s as we head into the foothills. Across the coast, highs are near 70 with 90s inland, and that's widespread 90s. Morning lows, by the way, very refreshing, right around the low to mid 50s in most of the region. One of those evenings and early mornings, we can open up the windows, let in that cool air. Highs in the 70s for the mountains for the next 5 days. For the foothills, we're in the 80s to near 90, and for the Bay Area, right around 70 degrees or so all the way through the beginning of the weekend. First 3 days, we're going to keep it pretty mild out there. The warmest day being Wednesday, cool for the weekend, and then back to the mid 90s next week.
All right, Monica, thank you. And we have to take a short break, but still ahead, the race for the White House, where polling stands tonight after campaigning in key states. And the new report highlighting why dozens of pregnant women are being turned away from emergency rooms. Plus, how a new proposal could save you time and money when speaking to customer service. We'll have all those stories and more. Tonight, in a rare move, the Pentagon has publicly announced that it is sending a guided missile submarine to the Middle East. The nuclear-powered submarine called the USS Georgia is capable of holding more than 150 Tomahawk missiles, and it comes amid growing concern that Iran could attack Israel at any moment, and tensions in the region have been building after the former leader of Hamas was assassinated in Iran's capital just last month. Hamas blames Israel for the killing, and Iran has vowed revenge. The Pentagon typically keeps the movements of submarines classified, and analysts say this rare announcement is a clear message to Iran to back down. Hamas and Israel were also set to resume ceasefire talks this week, and ABC News reports that those talks are now in question. And tonight in the race for the White House, a new report shows Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz have gained momentum in some key states. The new Democratic ticket just completed its first week on the campaign trail after dueling rallies with former President Donald Trump last week. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest from both campaigns tonight.
Today, after a week of rallies in key states, momentum is swinging back towards the Democratic ticket. A New York Times Siena poll shows Vice President Kamala Harris has a 4-point edge on former President Donald Trump in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, within the margin of error. Harris is expected to unveil her economic plans in the coming days.
When I am president, we will continue our fight for working families of America. Including to raise the minimum wage, and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Trump responding, she copied my no taxes on tips policy.
We will pass massive tax cuts for workers, and that includes no tax on tips.
Something he's promised for months. Also on social media, Trump is pushing false claims that Harris used artificial intelligence to create images of fake crowds. That's not true. Thousands of people have attended her rallies, including 15,000 here in Phoenix, where running mate Minnesota Governor Tim Walz took a jab at the former president.
It's not as if anybody cares about crowd sizes or anything.
Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, is pushing immigration reform as a top campaign issue. Trump has vowed mass deportations. ABC's John Carl pressed Vance to elaborate.
I think it's interesting that people focus on, well, how do you deport 18 million people? Let's start with 1 million. That's where Kamala Harris has failed, and then we can go from there.
And both Harris and Trump's campaigns will be on the road later this week. Trump in North Carolina, Harris too, after a stop in Maryland with President Biden. And the Democratic National Convention kicks off just 1 week from today, if you can believe that. All right, more than 100 pregnant women who sought help from emergency rooms while in medical distress were turned away or negligently treated since 2022. And that's what the Associated Press is reporting after an analysis of federal hospital investigations. According to the White House, hospitals must offer abortions when needed to save a woman's life, despite current state bans. But some states are challenging that guidance, and advocates say penalties like prison time are scaring doctors from performing some treatments.
The reason that we believe may be behind this is Texas's abortion bans. It is perfectly legal under Texas law to provide treatment for an ectopic pregnancy, to end an ectopic pregnancy. But as long as abortion is banned with criminal penalties, a doctor who provides an abortion in Texas in violation of the ban faces life imprisonment, hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines, and loss of their medical license. As long as abortion is criminalized, doctors are terrified to provide essential health care to their patients.
This is what abortion rights and access looks like right now across the country. The Guttmacher Institute, who advocates for reproductive rights, shows that at least 14 states have total bans on abortions in place. 4 other states have 6-week abortion bans, while restrictions or protections may remain in state laws. The total ban means they are not being used in practice. The Associated Press's review found serious violations that jeopardized a mother or her fetus's health occurred in states with and without abortion bans. And getting into your price points tonight, the Biden administration wants to make it easier to navigate through customer service. They announced new policies today aimed at business practices that cost consumers time and, of course, money. Here's more on how they would work.
The White House today unveiling new policies with the goal of getting consumers better customer service. Among them, aiming to make reaching a real-life representative as easy as one click.
Americans are tired of being played for suckers, and President Biden and Vice President Harris will continue to use every tool available to protect Americans from corporate greed and practices that hit people in their pocketbooks.
Part of this proposal is to reduce so-called doom loops where customers are stuck with a chatbot or an automated recording instead of an actual person. A Consumer Financial Protection Bureau proposal would require businesses to connect a customer with a human representative by pressing a single button. And a new rule by the Federal Trade Commission would make canceling subscriptions as easy as signing up. So if it takes one click to sign up for a membership, the FTC is proposing it should take one click to back out. This could potentially apply to gym memberships, apps, internet, and cable. These proposals are part of a greater push by the Biden administration to bring daily costs down for families. A recent survey from CNET finds consumers are spending an average of $91 a month on subscriptions, totaling to over $1,000 a year.
Many of these providers are slowly notching up the price of their subscriptions. It's not a lot, it's just $1 or $2 per year for most of them, but that really starts to add up.
And it is important to note that these new proposals could take months to go into effect. They could also face legal challenges. Make sure you stay with us because we're back right after this break. Before we go, we are following some breaking news just into the newsroom tonight. You're taking a live look right now. Sacramento police say they are on scene of a shooting off La Riviera Drive. Officers tell us at least 2 men have been shot. Again, you are taking a live look at the area right now. It's unclear what their conditions are or what led up to the shooting. You can see several patrol vehicles still active on this scene. And we do know that La Riviera Drive from College Town to Howe Avenue is currently closed while officers on scene conduct their investigation. We have a crew working to get you some more information, and we will keep you updated online and on air as we get that information. And if you have something you think we should be looking into, make sure to reach out to me and the team. Thank you so much for watching and for always inviting us into your home. Remember, strangers are just people we haven't gotten the chance to meet yet, so take the time to get to know someone. I'll see you later. Have a great night. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.